Okay, everybody, welcome back to the #1 TV show in the history of our solar system and quite possibly the entire universe. I am Brian Lee Durfee, author of The Forgetting Moon and The Blackest Heart, both books published by Simon & Schuster's Saga Press. Today I'm going to be showing off my entire Elizabeth George collection of mystery novels. She writes some of the best mystery novels on the planet, probably one of my top 5 mystery authors, and certainly my #1 British mystery writer of all time. I love Elizabeth George's books, and we're going to talk about them. All of these books are part of her Inspector Lynley series, and we're going to talk about the books, the BBC television show, and the time that I met her. You know that I love to show off all the books that I got that are signed, and yes, indeed, I did meet Elizabeth George, and she did sign pretty much every single one of my novels. So there's that. So what is the Inspector Lynley mystery series like? Well, it's just, the books are huge. The books are thick. Most of them are like 800 to 1,000 pages. And so you got just these incredibly epic murder mysteries set in and around London and southern England and everywhere. And some of them, they'd even travel to Rome to solve mysteries. But anyway, this is the type of book I like. It's big, it's thick, it's wordy, it's got a lot of characters, and every single one of the novels in the series is like that. And just the amount of detail and research that goes into these things, not just police procedural research, but research on all things that are in England and all things that go. Elizabeth George is not from Britain. She's an American, maybe a Canadian. Can't remember. I should have looked that up first. I imagine it says where she hails from in here somewhere. She lives in Washington State. That would be in the United States. Pretty close to Canada. Hey, you can't blame me. Anyway, she travels over to England once a year to do research for these massive books, and the research is impeccable. The detail is impeccable. The writing and the dialogue, all of it is great. And the two main stars of the series are, of course, Inspector Lynley and his sidekick Barbara Havers, who you can see right there, played by the actress and actor in the BBC miniseries. So let's talk about the books first. If you want to start this series at the beginning, A Great Deliverance is book #1. And it is super dope. I loved it. And if you look at the set, I've got half of them in mass market paperback here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 in mass market paperback. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hardcovers. And as you can see, the mass market paperbacks that we've got stacked there, they all look real nice on the shelf. All the spines match. It looks pretty cool. The set looks pretty cool together. And then the hardcovers, they also look pretty cool. But as having the whole collection is cool. If you want to get the most bang for your buck, if you want to read these, I would start reading at the beginning. Now, each one of them is a standalone novel. You don't have to read the previous ones to understand each novel. However, the best experience is to read from the beginning, when our two inspectors meet each other, and then all of their adventures and subsequent adventures that happen, all the trials and tribulations they go through in the police department and in their own personal lives. It's just almost like we're reading not only police procedurals, but we're getting history lessons in the British Isles. We're learning different things about the parts of the British Isles that we never learned about before. And we're also getting the kind of family sagas of both of these characters. And so, it starts out with A Great Deliverance. And we'll move Stephen King guy and we'll put them over here. Payment in Blood. And I like the covers of all these. All these covers just have different little designs on them. Book 3. Book 4, A Suitable Vengeance. Book 5, For the Sake of Elena. Book 6, Missing Joseph. Book 7, Playing for the Ashes. Book 8, In the Presence of the Enemy. And like I said, every single one of these books she signed for me, which was really cool that she did that when I met her. You know, we got Deception on His Mind, probably one of my favorites. In Pursuit of the Proper Sinner, another one of my favorites, and I love that cover. And then these two over here, Traitor to Memory and holy shit. I swear to God, folks. I caught that one. Anyway, those two there. And then the hardcovers look just as good. And in case you wanted to know what the author herself looks like, there we go. Careless in Red, one of my favorites. This Body of Death, one of my absolute favorites too. I love that cover. Believing the Lie, another really just great cover. Just One Evil Act. Banquet of Consequences. The Punishment She Deserves, and the one that most recently came out that I left a review of last year, Something to Hide. Now, these books are, I mean, they're not cozy little British mysteries. I mean, these things are pretty hard R-rated in some spots. I mean, she shows not only the beautiful, gorgeous sides of England, but she also shows the gritty underbelly of some parts of England and London and different places that they go, these inspectors. Now, the books are fucking super awesome, as is the BBC show. Now, the BBC show, they kind of filmed the first 10 or 12 books in the BBC show, and they follow the books pretty decently, really, the first 10 or 12 of these episodes. But then the second half of the episodes, the writers of the TV show just sort of started to come up with mysteries of their own, because well, it was filmed probably 20 years ago, so a lot of these Elizabeth George hadn't even written yet. So but the show was wildly popular, and the actor and actress that play our leads are really, really super good together. Their chemistry is just crazy good together. And it's just one of the better produced TV mystery series that's ever been. So if you'd rather just watch the shows rather than read the books, hey, I say do both. But if you'd rather do this, you're going to be in for a treat, because these are great mysteries also. Anyway, I just wanted to show you my Elizabeth George book collection, because she is literally one of my top 20 favorite authors of all time, certainly in my top 5 mystery writers, and my number 1 British mystery writer. Favorite. Writing is great, stories are great, the mysteries are great, the atmosphere that she creates is great. Makes me want to live in England and solve murders.